Well, hey there, it's Dr. Kevin here. Welcome, and boy, do I have a doozy for you today. Just behind me, I'm going to reveal 4 ways in which you are sabotaging your mental health and depression. That's right, you and I both are creatures of habit. We do the same thing day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out. You get the idea, right? You get up, you probably do the same thing every day. In the morning, maybe you start by going to the bathroom, brushing your teeth, water, coffee, whatever it may be. We're essentially zombies walking through life. And sometimes that's good because you probably have some good habits that you are doing that's leading to some good results. But a lot of these are just things that we do habitually. And I want you to get you to focus on it so that way you can start to feel better if you struggle with depression, if you are in some form of treatment program, right? Whether it's cognitive behavioral therapy, or maybe you're taking medication that's making you feel like a zombie. Maybe you're feeling numb. Well, this is your chance to start to feel better. Because depression, really what it is, it's the absence of resilience, our biological resilience in our body and our psychological resilience. That's it. But we can build those things up by starting to make some small changes. So if you're ready, let's get to it. Let's reveal these suckers. All right, number 1 is food. That's right, you probably eat a lot of the same foods as I do. Now, lucky for me, I have some good habits that I've built over the years. It didn't start by a 30-day diet. I slowly progressed based upon things that made me feel good and eating cleaner and cleaner and cleaner. So if you find yourself going through the drive-through breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's no bueno, no good, because trans fats, fried foods, lots of sugar is not going to help your brain and help you create neurotransmitters. These are the happy hormones. And well, our body makes these based upon the foods we consume. If you're consuming proteins and you're digesting it, you can make these neurotransmitters. But if you're eating a lot of different foods that cause inflammation, that's going to cause interference with these neurotransmitters, and you're just not going to feel good. Hey, I have a quick thing that I want to give you, and it's going to help you with the food part. If you go to my website, kevindobrinsky.com, it's up there in the banner, there is a depression diet cheat sheet. That's right, you don't have to read an entire book. Just pick up this diet cheat sheet, my gift to you. And in this cheat sheet, I reveal 5 trigger foods that you should never honestly consume if you're struggling with depression. So that will help you with the food part, okay? All right, let's get on to number 2, focus. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. We spend a lot of time, again, throughout the day, stuck in thought and without even realizing it. But here's one way that you can stop and just take a little perspective to see what you're thinking about, and it's all based upon how you feel. If you find yourself, well, a little down and out, if you find yourself tired, if you find yourself fatigued, just start to focus on your thoughts. What are you thinking about? Because your thoughts leads to feelings, right? And emotions, and we feel that in our body. And these, of course, can lead to actions, good or bad. So if you're not feeling great in your body, if you have that negative feeling, right? You don't have good energy, just go back to your mind and say, hey, what am I thinking about? If I don't have energy, if I don't have a good vibe right now, a good frame, go to your thoughts and say, hey, what am I thinking about here? And that will give you perspectives and at least create some awareness for you where you're spending most of your time. And then you can start to deviate and focus on what you want, things that create good feelings for you. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, if you're ready, let's get on to the third F. You notice all these start with the letter F. Hey, get your mind out of the gutter. We're not going there. This is the family show, folks. All right. I don't believe I just did that. Did you see what I did? I wrote down focus twice. I was really focused. Anyway, this word, I have to change it now. I'm doing this on the fly here without a net, is not focus because we've already covered that. It is, can you read my terrible writing? It's fitness. So, most of us, unfortunately, don't move throughout the day. And so if you're not moving, you're sabotaging your health. So by sitting too much, that unfortunately is referred to something we call the new smoking. Years ago, smoking was bad for us. It killed people. And now we're talking about how sitting too much is leading to chronic conditions and disease, even like depression. So by getting up and just moving a little bit more, I'm not saying you have to go out, join the gym, and work out like a maniac, doing these CrossFit things and doing Ironmans. You don't have to do that. You just have to move your body, because as you move, you create blood flow to your brain. It's going to bring nutrients, oxygen. You're going to feel better. Here's a quick little tip. After your meal, okay, try to spend at least 5 minutes, 10 would be great, moving. Go for a quick walk. If you're in a building where you work in an office, go up and down the stairs. Don't take the elevator. What that does, it enables us to use up some of that glucose. That's that blood sugar you just consumed after lunch. So it's great to walk after meals. If you can start to move your body, you're going to feel better. Now, here's the conundrum when it comes to fitness or lack thereof, is that when you struggle with depression, you struggle with fatigue sometimes. You just don't feel like moving. You just want to sit there, curl up in the ball, you know what I mean? Or lay in bed. But it's a catch-22. You don't feel like moving, so you won't get the energy from the movement. But I will tell you something. If you can just get outside, especially if it is a sunny day, if there's any greenery around you, a park, your grass in your front lawn, whatever it may be, try to get out in nature first and foremost, and try to just walk in nature. If you can get in the sun, that's even better. You're going to feel better. Guaranteed. If you don't, you can email me. We can have a discussion about it. But give it a shot. Okay, this last one is a little bit tricky. It's something referred to as functional medicine. Let me talk about this briefly with you. See, the way you sabotage yourself with your mental health is based upon sometimes who you seek for treatment. Now, again, depression is essentially the absence of resilience biologically and psychologically. But unfortunately in mental health, we think it's all between our 2 ears, and that's not true all the time. Sometimes you are dealing with grief, you're dealing with loss, and it's great to see someone, a counselor or a coach, right? To have some therapies, to have some sort of strategies to help you with the focus part, right? But when it comes to chronic, when it comes to clinical depression, if you're being medicated, the problem with mainstream medicine is that no one looks to the root causes. That's what these guys do. Functional medicine, it's a big part of my training, which I've done over the years. You can find them in most major metropolitan areas. You can get them online. These are doctors like medical doctors, DOs, chiropractors, naturopaths like myself that focus on finding the root cause of health problems. And there's lots of them when it comes to depression. It's just not one. That's why a lot of people continue to struggle with clinic or chronic depression. So things like deficiencies in hormones, enzymes, neurotransmitters, vitamins and minerals. Inflammation is another root cause. Genetics are not necessarily a root cause, but it's something you can address. Other ones are infections in our body that are never found. And the last one are things like trauma. This could be physical trauma, concussions to the head can lead to depression, and of course, psychological trauma that we could have experienced earlier on in our life. And so functional medicine doctors are a great opportunity for you to find some help and get to the root cause of what may be hurting you or you may be struggling with when it comes to depression. And so that's a big mistake that a lot of people make, and they sabotage that route to mental health just by picking the wrong physician. Again, it's great if you're dealing with loss or grief in your life to have a coach or a therapist, but when you have clinical and chronic depression, you need to get to that root cause. And unfortunately, some doctors just don't look to the root cause, and you just end up on the hamster wheel of medications all the time. So we want you to get feeling better. So that's why I created this for you. One step at a time. Take one and just try to start creating a habit out of it, waking up in your life, and just take, well, look at your life if you have to and write some things down as far as what you do with your food, right? Thoughts, this is going to create some time, but you can get there just by creating some awareness. Fitness, just walk if you can after meals, right? When I mentioned the food, remember, go back to my site, get that cheat sheet for yourself, and then if you're still struggling with depression in your body, if you have fatigue, other symptoms other than depression, really try to seek out a functional medicine doctor. Hey, thanks for your time today. I hope you got some value out of this. Please give it a thumbs up because I know there are people out there that could use this information to change their life. And by giving it a thumbs up, we're able to get that video out to more people. And make sure you subscribe so you continue to get this great information, and hopefully we can get you moving in the right direction as well. So that's all I have for you today. Hey, I will see you back here very, very soon. And until I do, I'm Dr. Kevin. I want you to eat well, and I want you to be well.